So I recently did a video about StepWGN. I want to talk about an alternative to the StepWGN. The Toyota Liteace or Townace Noah. As you can see, it's a very similar vehicle. It's front engine, 3 rows of seating. You got the front 2, you got the middle row, and you got the back row. Sometimes the middle row is done differently in the Toyotas. I've seen captain's chairs versions. Kind of also seen that in some of the StepWGNs. So the purpose of this video is to talk about how they are similar and why I think you should buy a StepWGN. Big difference, StepWGN is a front engine, front wheel drive car. Comes with a 2-liter B20B. A great motor in the 90s for Honda. The Toyota comes with a front engine, rear wheel drive, comes with 3S FE. 3S was Toyota's big motor in the 90s as well, 2-liter. And this one's rear wheel drive, which is interesting that they went with rear wheel drive instead of front wheel drive, but whatever. Similar styling on the vehicles. The reason why I think the StepWGN's better is because the StepWGN shares more parts with its American Honda counterparts than the Toyota does. So I looked up parts for the Toyota, and you can find part numbers and stuff and cross-reference things and things like that. If you're looking for brakes, you'll be fine. Calipers and pads. Rotors, things start to get a little difficult. But front control arms, rear control arms, bushings, ball joints, toe arms, traction arms, upper control arms, all those little things, shock absorbers, stuff like that, you start to have difficulty finding that stuff on the Toyota. Almost nothing really crosses over. It's really bad on Toyotas is Hiace. A lot of people love bringing the Hiace in. That's the one that comes with the turbo diesel motors, like the 2.7 liter turbo diesel. Those have nothing they share with an American counterpart. I think front pads like the only thing people can find. Even then, they have to take a grinder and grind off part of the flanges or something on the pads to get them to work. Hiaces are the worst vehicle to bring in. They share nothing. Now the StepWGN, I say all that. The StepWGN's front end suspension stuff is pretty much StepWGN only. Pads and calipers and rotors, front bearings, all share stuff with Honda Accord, Honda Civic, something like that. The front axe CV shafts are very specific to StepWGN. The engine is more of a StepWGN variant it's a B20B, but the brackets for the alternator AC compressor, that's StepWGN specific. Transmission, we use an Integra transmission. Automatic, we just had to make a little thing for the gear selector to work. If you 5-speed swap a StepWGN, because StepWGNs they come 5-speed swap and you use the whole CRV stuff, it's much easier. Now I say that if you have a 4-wheel drive StepWGN, transmissions are easier to find because they're the same as the CRV. But if you have a front-wheel drive one, it's much more difficult. So with that, get a 4-wheel drive StepWGN. Now with that, going to the rear, the whole rear suspension design on a StepWGN, Honda Odyssey. It's all Honda Odyssey. Trailing arm, all bearings, all that stuff, the whole thing Honda Odyssey. The only thing that's not Honda Odyssey is the strut and coils. Now, I think you can make the strut work because I think what it is just the StepWGN has a different spring rate and therefore a different shock than the Honda Odyssey. So I think you can make a Honda Odyssey one work. But the front suspension stuff and steering stuff on the StepWGN is all unique. The tie rods themselves are the most unique thing I've ever seen. These little tiny little tie rods. The front control arm system doesn't really cross anything Honda made at the time. There's similarities to other Honda stuff, but not direct. And the front coilover shock, the front strut and spring assembly is unique to only the StepWGN. But it looks like the Honda Civic, 2012, I think, front suspension design, where it clamps around, the spindle clamps around it. So I think you can make something work later on. Granted, a Civic is probably not the best strut to be putting on a StepWGN in the front. Probably better off finding an Accord. But my point is you could probably find something if you're a little smart. If not, you just put coilovers on it, which is what a lot of people do. They just put aftermarket coilovers on the thing when it needs. That's pretty much it. I know this is a short video, but that's really it. It comes to parts compatibility. While I would love to have the Noah, the Liteace or Townace Noah from Toyota because it's Toyota and it's got a 3S motor in it, I think that's really cool. Because here's the thing about the Toyota, the 3S motor thing. Since it comes with a 3S motor, you can get it in 5-speed. and that means it comes with a W series. It doesn't. I don't think it comes with a W58. I think it comes with like a W55 because it's more of a truck-oriented transmission. But the point is, it comes with a W series transmission, and that means you could take the 3S that's in it out, and you could put a Beams 3S in it. You know, potentially you could put a Toyota RZ motor from the Tacoma, like a 2.4 liter RZ motor in there. I doubt there's room for a JZ or a 7M or anything straight 6. But my point is that because it's rear-wheel drive, you have more engine options that are probably easier to do later if you wanted to make it cooler and more badass. Now granted, I say that the StepWGN comes with the B20, and I've been watching some videos, and you can easily make 350 horsepower with a turbo and Honda data on a B20. So there's that too. I just don't know if the transmission would hold up in the StepWGN. Granted, this is my third one. So that's what I wanted to say between the two. If you're just looking for a stock vehicle, I would get the StepWGN versus the Toyota one. Just from parts compatibility standpoint, I would get the Honda. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Buku Auto. Hope you enjoyed the short video.